And then, and then we have receiving. They receive raw material.
And that's the stamping?
Nope.
No, that's the receiving over here. That's what.
I'll
He'll
show
show
you
you.
right now.
Stamping is considered production.
And then, commands, they do with this, but they also do with this, which is stamping. And then they stamp out raw material. Okay, so everything is a pull system from here. Toyota gives us a forecast. Toyota tells us this is what we need to build over the next 4 months. They break it down between 2 shifts every day. You know, so for instance, they give us the forecast. They say, look, on the month of January, we're going to build a total of this amount, and we're going to break it down between the 22 days, working days, and the 2 shifts. So each day we're going to get an accurate production build from them to see what they're actually building. Toyota doesn't say, hey, today we're building 800. Okay, well, 800. So it's non-SPD and SPD's job to ship out those 800 vehicles, yes, within 8 hours of production. Or if you have overtime, you may have overtime. Now, non-SPD is going to figure out, based off of Hajunka, which is level building, they're going to figure out what the best method is to give the production builds to welding. So, non-SPD is going to say, look, Toyota is requesting 50 vehicles every 30 minutes. Every 30 minutes. With that 50 vehicles every 30 minutes, because that's what Toyota's requesting, they have what they call a Hajunka post. It's basically the route scheduling. This route driver, he needs to know how often he goes to welding to tell them to build a certain amount of material. So
it's like the average time.
Yeah, the average time.
Okay.
So say he has 30 minutes route cycle. He's trying to keep up with Toyota's request. And he has 50 vehicles to build, so he's gonna, within an 8-hour shift, a standard 8-hour shift, he's gonna, and I'm not trying to make this as accurate as possible, I'm just trying to give you an example. He's gonna tell welding, level load. Welding, this is what you need to build. So he's going to give the kanbans that are enough for 50 per 30 minutes. So every 30 minutes he's going to go to welding and give him these kanbans. You have 50 to build. I'm going to come back in 30 minutes to give you another 50 to build. The only way welding can build is with raw components. So they're going to get that order, and within those 30 minutes, they're going to start building. And those 50 builds lead to a lot of different components that we receive. So with the conveyance kanban, they're going to go to conveyance and say, look, I'm building. They're going to give conveyance, their conveyance kanbans for raw material. Conveyance, once again, they're kind of like non-SPD, they have their own route scheduling. Every 30 minutes, the conveyance route. They have a lot of different conveyance routes that deal with all the welding processes. Every 30 minutes, this route driver needs to circle around and pick up all the available kanbans that were thrown down from welding. So he has 30 minutes. He has a time management board, 30 minutes to pick up all the kanbans that he's responsible for, go back to receiving, pick up all the material that's needed, go back to welding, and give them the material that they requested every 30 minutes. Because they have time management. Receiving, your job is to receive the material from outside vendors. Places like Missouri, Ohio, Indiana, California, all these different vendors that actually supply to us through big trucks. It's our job to offload all this material and put it into different locations and chutes for conveyance, our storage areas, for conveyance to go ahead, look at the Kanban, and pick up what's needed. Now, he came from stamping. Stamping is internal. They actually stamp out material for the welding processes. So once again, conveyance will go pick up from outside vendors, and conveyance will also
Tomorrow,
go pick up from stamping.
when you come in to do that for me, can
Yes.
you square foot it from both sides?
Yes, sir.
So they will pick up from outside vendors, raw components, and they will also pick up raw components that we build internally. Everything is dictated from this. These guys are the ones that dictate how production runs for everyone else. How much material are we going to use? How long these guys are actually going to stay to build product. You know, these guys are the ones that dictate everything in this plant. That's what I'm talking about, an upstream process. You can only build, you can only provide, and you can only receive the material that these guys
It's
actually
like a
need.
video, right?
Huh?
It's almost like a video.
Yeah,
Where
just
you
like a
get-
video, just like a video. And everything is time managed to level load. You know, we want to make sure that our raw material route drivers and our finished good route drivers, that they don't overburden themselves throughout their 8-hour work schedule. That they have a level amount of what needs to be built and what needs to be received from the customers. Welding, it's a bit more difficult because you're actually running with machines that have processing speeds. You actually have to put components in there, let the machine run, wait till it's finished welding or building whatever it's supposed to build, then take it to another process. So they have standard processing speeds of, let's say, 60 seconds. So every 60 seconds, a welding team member that's at that process will build out a part and get it ready for pickup. Everything's based off the time, you know, so it's not like, hey, I need you to build 800, build whatever you can. Well, they can only build at the pace that the machine allows them to. But our routes, you know, go off of the machine processing times, because, you know, if they can't build that fast, then why are we going to sit there waiting? We're going to try to make the most effective route that we can. So, yeah, everything's based off the forecasting and finished goods, and that's what makes us run lean, because if